Hey folks, Dr. Mike here for Renaissance Periodization. Individualization training principle number 7 and our last one for this lecture series. The formal definition of individualization is something like this. Because individuals, all of them, differ in various ways, the application of the 6 other core training principles is going to have to differ with respect to the individual to elicit the best possible results. In the real world, we can say it a different way. The training principles work for everyone with no exceptions. But the specifics of how you apply them, especially how much and how often you apply them, absolutely must be altered for the individual to get best results. Because everyone is different, everyone's going to need a somewhat different approach. There are 2 sub-principles in individual differences. One is intra-individual differences. That means with the same individual, from their bulking phase to their fat loss phase, from when they were 15 years old to when they're 25 years old, from when they were a beginner in their sport to when they were advanced in their sport, training is going to have to alter. From when they wanted to train mostly their arms to when they wanted to train mostly their chest and back, individuals change over time. And thus, you're going to have to vary the training. When people say, hey, what kind of training works for you? There's not really a good answer to that question with a given level of specificity or a given level of precision, because you're just going to say, well, generally these things work, but back in my early 20s, I did this, and now I do this. Back then, this was better for me. Now this is better for me. Second sub-principle, as you may have guessed already, is inter-individual difference. During the same given time, 2 individuals may need quite different things because their bodies and potentially their psychology is different and needs a different input to get a different response to training. So, 4 things to say on those notes. When I say everyone needs the basic 6 principles, I mean everyone with no exception. There is not a single athlete or client on earth that does not need specificity. There's not anyone that trains their biceps and their calves grow, unless they're training the biceps really wrong. Overload, everyone needs it. Fatigue management, everyone needs it. When people say, yeah, I don't do deloads. Oh, you do. You just call them something else, like getting sick or getting hurt or going on vacation. Those are still deloads. But given that that's the case, the amount of specificity that somebody needs, the magnitude of the overload, what is overloading for a 1,000-pound squatter is beyond overload for me. What is overloading for me is way underloading for a 1,000-pound squatter. The frequency of deloading to reduce fatigue. Some people need it every 4 weeks, some people every 8. These things may vary substantially individual to individual and even within an individual over time. And individuals vary between each other, especially on almost every parameter that you can imagine. Thus, you're going to have to predict that needs slightly different approaches. People vary in tons of things. Just a couple quick examples. Muscle size, muscle strength, limb ratios. Right? Some people have really long arms and really short torsos. Some people have really short arms and really long torsos. That's going to lead to very different looking exercise technique where you think it's all the same. People differ in their hormones. People differ in their training histories and thus how they're going to respond to future training based on how they responded to past training. And just about everything else, individual difference is real. And you think, okay, people differ individually on so many different things. How the hell am I supposed to program training? What am I supposed to account for every variable? I'm not an AI large language model. I can't parse that much data. Good news, you don't have to. Autoregulation is the key. You start out with a basic training approach that errs on the side of a little easier, a little safer, a little simpler, and see how your client responds. If they're healing really fast, increase their workload or increase the frequency. If they're having trouble healing, decrease the workload or decrease the frequency. Make all of the adjustments that you need to adjust through autoregulating based on their responses. And when you can engineer a training plan for them that is very elegant, that has them healing just on time, that has them making smooth, steady gains with exercises that work for them, in technique variations that work for them as well, irritate their joints the least, hit their muscles the most, then you've discovered something that at least for the time being works really well. That is until intra-individual differences play a role within weeks and months, and then you still have to alter the plan. And autoregulation, trying something conservative, altering it up or down, sideways or backwards, as the client changes in order to optimize their results, that's the way to get it done. So individualization is a reality, and a good basic start plus autoregulation is the way we take all the complexity of that reality and we reduce it down to giving us a trend line for clients' best results. And that's all everything this is about, is getting the best results for yourself, for your athletes, and for your clients. Folks, thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time for the next lecture series.